Apple just released a new Apple Watch Ultra 2. And against all leaks, the Apple Watch still doesn't ship in color. So today I'm going to take it in my own hand to create the first colored Apple Watch Ultra 2. For this we will use a method called anodizing, which creates an artificial oxide layer on the surface of the titanium. First, let's unbox the new Apple Watch Ultra. Before I touch the watch, I will put on some gloves to prevent any contamination of the surface, which is keen to have a good finish when anodizing. Now I will set up the watch and we test the sensor functions first. Now that the watch is set up, let's test the ECG, heartbeat and oxygen sensors. This seems to have worked great. Now let's test the other sensors too. For this I don't need to touch the crown, so I will put on a second glove again. This sensor seems to work perfectly fine as well, so let's test the blood oxygen last. This sensor seems to work also flawless, so let's continue. Now, to see how the color turns out when anodizing, I will test it on some scrap titanium first, then we will get back to the watch. To clean the test pieces, I will use this ultrasonic cleaner and some isopropyl alcohol. This isn't possible with the watch because it would probably destroy the O-rings. By the way, don't grab those containers, they are horrible to pour out of. Additional to clean titanium, you need some baking soda, 2 containers to create a solutions in, a titanium wire to connect to the DC power supply, a DC power supply, and some form of measurement. In the first bowl, we put some distilled water. I will do roughly 2 cups. And in the second bowl, which will be our rinsing bowl, it's just some distilled water to rinse off the baking soda solution. As I already said, to the second bowl we add some baking soda. I put a spoon for each cup of water. Now we have to stir the solution until the baking soda dissolves. Now the solution is fully dissolved. You need a cathode. You can use something else than titanium, but I will use a small titanium plate to achieve hopefully the best result. And for the anode, it is important that only titanium will touch the water. So I will use this titanium wire and some even smaller parts of titanium to do the first test. This titanium wire will be then connected to the cathode, the plus pole of your power supply. Now I simply powered on the power supply and the color changed. At 14 volts the color is a mix of brown and gold. At 20 volts the color changes to a dark blue, almost purple. At 30 volts the color lightens to a light blue. At 40 volts the color lightens up even more to a barely blue. 50 volt the color turns yellow to a barely yellow. At 60 volt the color turns yellow. Before I anodize the watch, I will anodize the wristband to see if the colors will turn out the same on the titanium of the watch. As you can see, it didn't work out as expected. I kind of like the new color even more, so let's keep on going. To keep the watch upright, I made this simple jig where you can hook the watch onto and see what's going on beneath and let the gases escape. First though, we have to clean the watch, when I will simply wipe it with some isopropyl alcohol. To contact the jig I made, I will wrap the end of it in the titanium wire. So I edited the GoPro to see hopefully what's going on, and I cleaned the watch and should be ready for anodizing. Let's see what will happen. As you can see, the watch has already changed the color, and now we reached 21 volts, same as the wristband. Let's take it out and see if it worked successfully. It isn't a drastic color change, but it darkened a fair bit. As you can see, we have the antenna ring still in the original color because it's made from plastic. While taking these pictures, I realized the orange color of the action button dissolved. The rest you can see is easily wiped away. As you can see, the color of the watch band is slightly darker than the rest. I think it adds to the characteristics of the watch. There's still one thing to do, and it is to anodize the crown because it isn't connected, as I said, and it's still the original color. There you can see the difference quite well. To anodize the crown of the Apple Watch, I will simply use a piece of titanium wire. And as you can see, what I think was quite interesting, the crown anodized in the color I was expecting, so I don't know what's going on there, but it's a festival of colors, this watch now. As a little reminder, this is what the watch looked like in the beginning. Now for the exciting moment. Let's see if it still powers on. Turned on, seems to be working. Now let's test for the sensors we tested in the beginning, starting with the heartbeat. The heartbeat sensor seems alright, and as you can see, my heartbeat is quite up from the beginning. Let's try the blood oxygen. Seems to work as well. And least but not last, let's try the ECG function. And this one seems also functional, so I would call it a success. After testing the watch for a week, I'm quite happy with the result. The watch, the new color, blends in way more than the original orange bright action button, and it is perfect. The only two problems I could figure out is the always on display starts flickering, as you can see in this clip. And on the back side there are some signs of rust right here at the buttons for the quick release for the wristband. Now enjoy some footage of the anodized watch. If you liked the video and think I should do it with a new iPhone as well, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I see you then.